And you thought you were on Liberty's kids.
In Great Britain, Parliament was convening together to decide what to do about the colonists and how to maintain their power over the colonies. Charles Townshend was a member of Parliament and had an idea to raise money by adding another tax for the colonists to pay.
Take 326. Marker.
I'd like to propose that we place a tax on items not made in the colonies. It seems like the colonies are very upset about paying taxes on common items they have in the colonies.
Good thinking, Townshend. Take 1,137.
Let's tax imported goods such as paper, glass, tea, lead, and paint, since they can only be bought from Great Britain.
It will be much harder to smuggle goods.
We can track these items better and stop smugglers because we know everything comes from us.
Here, the Townshend Acts are approved.
The colonists gathered outside of Town Hall to hear about the new taxes that were about to be imposed on them. Colonists will hereby pay taxes on the following items that are imported from Great Britain: paper, glass, tea, lead, and paint.
No more taxes!
The colonists were very upset and felt that their rights were being challenged. They would hold demonstrations to show their outrage.
Scene 2, Benjamin Franklin, take 2. Marker.
Fellow colonists, we are tired of having these taxes imposed on us.
We refuse to pay these taxes.
Enough is enough. We will continue to fight for our rights. In addition to taxes, Parliament wanted to crack down on smugglers. So they said anyone caught smuggling would have to face trial by British judges, not colonial ones. Eventually, the colonists' voices were heard, and Parliament repealed most of the Townshend Acts in 1770, but they kept the tax on tea. Gentlemen, it has come to our attention that the East India Tea Company is in trouble. The East India Tea Company was the primary tea company of Great Britain. The company was having great financial difficulty and had 18 million pounds of unsold tea. We will let the East India Tea Company send their tea to the colonies. The British government was afraid that their economy would suffer if the East India Tea Company went bankrupt. Let's create the Tea Act. We will loan the East India Tea Company money to ship the tea to the colonies, and then we only let their agents sell the tea there. Agents won't pay the taxes, but the colonists will. The Tea Act would allow the company to sell its tea at a lower price than other imported tea in the colonies. While Parliament was trying to keep the East India Tea Company in business, they really did not take in consideration how the colonists would react to this new tax. Parliament has required us to institute the Tea Act, which asks colonists to pay tax on the tea from the East India Company. You will be required to sell their tea to the colonists.
Scene 2, Royal Governor. Take 23.
Sell the tea and tax the colonists!
Time to introduce the colonists to the Tea Act and the East India Company. Fellow colonists, we have been given yet another tax, and the worst part of all is it on our beloved tea. We oppose this act and will not stand for this. The colonists opposed this act for a few reasons. 1. Some of their favorite teas came from other countries. 2. Tea importers who obeyed the law but did not work for East India Tea Company would be put out of business. They also opposed the act because it was yet another tax, and also because Great Britain gave the East India Tea Company a monopoly of tea sales. We vow to boycott this tea and this act. The colonists decided to take their boycott to the docks and refused to unload the East India tea. In some of the colonies, the colonists boycotted the East India tea in a variety of ways. Here's what happened in New York and Philadelphia. Fellow colonists, we are going to refuse this shipment of East India tea and send it back to Great Britain.
Send it back! Send it back!
Here's what happened in Charleston.
Leave the tea on the docks!
Let it rot!
In Boston, the royal governor insisted that the ships be allowed to dock, but the colonists...
Don't let the ships dock!
And don't pay the taxes!
Needless to say, we know how the colonists feel about the Tea Act, and there will be several more events to prove to the Parliament and the King that the colonists are not pushovers, and will fight for their rights. I would like to propose...
Scene 1. Is it scene 1?
Scene 2, it's fine.
Oh, I can do it.
Good thinking,
Thinking.
Townsend. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tax. Tax the tea.
Go ahead.
Fill the colonists.
Come on.
3, 2, 1. No, don't let it flap out. Hold the side so it doesn't flap out. Hold here and here.
Come on, I'm taping.
But I'm trying to stop taping. Okay.
Go.
Scene 1. Take 325 at marker.
Leave the tea
Let
on
it
the docks
rock,
and let it rock. Let it rock. Okay.
Go.
Fellow colonists, we have been given yet another tax. Well, the worst part is it's. Sorry. Wrong side. We oppose this act. We oppose this act. and- How about? Okay. We vow to boycott this. To pay tax on tea in the West End. No, as I say it. Or like, oh, that's kind of good. Okay. 3, 2, 1. We vow to boycott this tea in this act. No, oppose the act. The act. The East India Tea Company was the primary tea company of Great Britain. The loaned the East India Tea Company money to ship the tea across the colonies. Across the colony. The British government will. We will loan the East India Tea Company money to ship the tea to the colonies, and then only let their agents.
The colonists gathered outside of town hall to hear about the new taxes that were about to be imposed on them.